Good evening, Palettes and Mercs. Today we're going to be going over the Black Pants Legion lore, the Mad Cat. Now, this particular battle mech I don't have too much experience with. Like, I've seen it around, I have definitely smoked a couple of in my past, but particularly I'm not too familiar with this mech, despite seeing it around quite a bit. So I'm interested to learn just how well this particular mech works on the battlefield. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's get right into the film. Battletech Mechwarrior lore. And pulling that from the right side of the screen, excuse me. Let's go ahead and start this. Turn that down a little bit. I do love all the artwork he's got for this. Text Talks Battletech, Episode 5, Mad Cat. Clan Heavy Omnimech. What's interesting in this depiction of it is that it seems to have an LRM-10 and then an SRM-4 on this side. Maybe a combination of medium pulse lasers. And is that a goose rifle? Ah, I see it went for the goose rifle. Maybe a machine gun here. I can't really tell. You have a small anti-pigeon laser here. Pretty decent setup altogether.
Howdy, folks. Tex here, and we're going to talk Battletech. The topic of this episode is the poster child of the franchise. Yes, that one.
Oh, I gotta say, that Mechwarrior 2, Mad Cat just looks oh so perfect. Like, again, I may not necessarily have played the original Mechwarrior. No, I take that back. I haven't finished up Clan Falcon yet, but we did finish up Mechwarrior 2 Mercenary. No, it was Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries. Excuse me, I'm thinking the wrong thing. Never mind.
It's a gaudy waste of C-bills and a superbly inviting target. To others, it's a brilliantly balanced modular weapon system capable of fulfilling any mission parameters and winning any engagement with a capable pilot. Some call it a Mad Cat. Some call it a Timberwolf. For certain fans, it is the definitive centerpiece.
You see, I call it a Mad Cat because I'm not a clanner scum. It's like I may use some of their terms, but I kind of use it sarcastically because it's like I don't actually respect the clans. I just kind of say the lines because it's kind of cool, but otherwise I'm inner sphere, right? I side more with House Steiner than anything else. I used to be House Davion, but then loyalty shifted after I realized they couldn't be trusted for garbage. So fair enough.
To the entire franchise in lore and design emphasis. To the haters, it is the argument of style versus substance incarnate. To the chosen few of the clan war machine, she is a goddess of the battlefield, smiting down the unworthy and righteous fire. To the inner sphere, it is a
this thing is
harbinger
basically a
of hard
succubus
times,
for the clans,
of uneven fights and dark days ahead.
And you know exactly what I mean.
It has been called a game changer, a force multiplier, a mighty engine of war driven by the best in pursuit of their... Oh, wait. They lost, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
So what the fuck is the big deal with the fucking Mad Cat? Let's get into that on this episode.
He's swearing more than a sailor. I love it.
When the clan decided to throw down on the inner sphere, they came through the periphery, eradicating scant resistance in the form of pirates, pocket empires, single-system nation-states, and the like. In 3049, on an asteroid that fell into the range of barely habitable, a mercenary company of the Kellhounds were under contract to hunt down pirates in a forgettable system called the Rock. A scout lance ran into a band of unknowns, and a pilot was confused to encounter a glitch. You see, Phelan Kell's wolfhound was having trouble telling him what the fuck was shooting at him, in between his opponent yelling about claims and bondsmen and all that jazz. The targeting computer said mad cat, because it looked kind of like a cross between a marauder and a catapult.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, that's alarm 20s. Or at least, again, the default configuration. And then you have the lasers down here for marauder, minus like the cannon up here. Yeah, the targeting computers, the inner sphere, are not that great to begin with. Getting confused about what the hell this is. Yeah,
also, inner sphere equipment tends to be dumb and badly made.
Yes,
see,
thank you.
There, I made a joke about my stuff. We're equal now, you clanners. So when the survivors of the mercenary company managed to limp back into the inner sphere talking about crazy shit like mechs nobody's ever seen before, driven by brilliantly dangerous pilots, and had records to prove their crazy stories were true, a name was applied. Mad Cat. By this guy, who works for Space AT&T.
Yes, because why not?
Once in contact with regular forces, the Mad Cat continued its rampage, serving brilliantly in the name of Clan Wolf. In nearly every...
I love how this atlas here, and yes, it's an atlas, I'm pretty damn sure, because I see the autocannon just kind of barely sticking out of its chest here. Cat killer. In this one instance, that is absolutely correct, and in this one instance, I'm glad that we have an atlas nearby.
Engagement, it made its prowess known through brilliant engineering applied by the best pilots the Inner Sphere had ever seen, which was something nobody could surely have seen coming, and warned every man, woman, and child that hell was on the horizon and coming straight at us. Surely, nobody.
Yeah.
At all.
Surely.
At all. Anyways, saying that it tended to win engagements is putting it lightly. Clan equipment tended to blow away fully garrisoned defensive armies like dandelions.
Yeah, clan technology is... See, clan technology is so good. Mostly because it will cut down the weight. It tends not to mess around with damage, considering that most of it usually can outdo most inner sphere equipment. Even low-sec has trouble keeping up with it. So this is what you end up with.
As it turns out, having a warrior culture tends to breed effective warriors. Having generations of pilots trained on a single weapon system and hyper-competitive warrior culture makes for a very effective means by which to wage war. For a time, anyways. In engagement after engagement, the Mad Cat can easily make short work of equivalent tonnage mechs and comfortably swing above its weight. It was not uncommon during this time to hear of a clan-heavy star engaging multiple seemingly equivalent lances before retreating with minor damage, leaving all the inner sphere equipment comparatively and completely humbled.
Destroyed. Yes.
Throughout the invasion, the Mad...
God, I love the fact that the Hunchback's doing everything that it can. I'm pretty sure this is the AC-20 variant. It's trying everything that it can. And to be fair, it should be able to punch above its weight class, but you're going to have a tough time with the Timberwolf.
Cat fought on the front lines.
I'm pretty sure.
Clanners introducing their inner sphere adversaries to a whole new style of warfare, where their enemies had better stuff and used it to win, seemingly effortlessly. All in all, the Mad Cat is an exceptional weapon system within short, high-intensity conflicts, exactly the sort of war the clans excel at. However, that is
Even
not to
the
say they haven't
poor
found appreciation in the inner
I was about to call it a banshee. I think that is I th yeah, that's the banshee. I'm sorry. I am really tired as of recording this, and I'm just looking over like, I'm pretty sure that's a banshee. Because the awesome usually has a different I know I'm gonna get corrected in the comments anyways, but I'm pretty sure that's a banshee over there behind the Timberwolf. Or is it behind or in front? I can't tell. From this angle, it looks like,
sphere.
oh yeah,
While
it's definitely
supremely
behind him. Never,
expensive for a
never
heavy
mind.
mech at 24,233,120.
Sheesh, that's a lot of sea bills. So essentially, you know, for like what 15, I think it's like 15 Urbies at that point, you could probably field versus an entire
Or sea bills,
Timberwolf.
an amount of money that would buy any mercenary company 3 Black Knights, or 17 urban mechs, or an early comfortable
Yeah, yeah.
retirement. The Mad Cat, or Timberwolf, has found its place in the hands of pilots rich enough to acquire them, and most visibly in the Solaris 7 arena. Why?
Well, well, well. I wonder who that would be. I I always I always love a good Solaris match. And yes, I would probably add that to my roster if I didn't
Well,
use
it's an
like
Omni-Mech dummy. It can be
modified.
anything. It's
Yes.
Legos with weapons. It's perfect for
That is a
small-scale,
crazy
high-intensity battles where having
Lego is crazy to say, especially for a weapon system, because they specifically don't like that sort of thing. But you know what? In this case, it makes a lot of
choice in
sense.
how you fight is just as important as anything else. It's a mech gladiator's wet dream. It's a masterful weapon system, coveted by all who've seen it fight regardless of their allegiance. Let's move on to the design specs.
Mm.
The Timberwolf began mass production in 2945, giving the designers and industrial base 104 years to work out the kinks before war with the inner sphere began in earnest. In fact, having a system in production for that
Okay, my question is, how the fuck how do you specifically engineer pilots for specifically fighting? And then you have 104 years to work out any sort of kinks and defects with these weapon platforms. And then you just straight up lose to the inner sphere. Like, how do you lose that bad?
span of time largely means you have generations of warriors trained to fight with it and figuring out what tactics work best within its designed capabilities. And boy, what
Mm-hmm.
capabilities it does have. Unfortunately, for reasons I'll expound upon later, it was decided to be built at one and only one facility on Strana Mechti. This mech
Ooh, bad
was all the
decision.
rarer during the clan invasion because Clan Wolf realized they had a hell of a war machine and jealously defended it. So much so that the only way for anyone other than Clan Wolf to possess one was through gift giving or battlefield salvage. Fun fact, it's hard to
Yep.
salvage clan technology because salvage is traditionally reserved for winners. As a
You gotta
75-ton
fight hard if you
amalgamation of
want that
Indo-steel and
Timberwolf.
ferrofibrous armor, the Mad Cat in its prime configuration clips along at 86.4 kilometers an hour, or in moon landing units, that's about 53 miles an hour. With double heat sinks and top-of-the-line technology, whatever build you can dream up, the Mad Cat has you covered. Unless you're Solaris jock, then it's going to break, because you're going to take something nice and ruin it in 90 seconds of glory, aren't you?
I know this was recorded a long time ago, but holy shit, do I feel called out. I I mean, the sad part is he's not even wrong. I have ruined so many Daiichi. I ruined a Daiichi, a Bowman, and I'm pretty sure no, I didn't ruin the Daiichi. I I almost cored it. I almost cored my Bowman a couple of times, and then um I'm pretty sure the Farron was the one that I destroyed. Like, to be fair, it was a pretty rough match to begin with. So, like, yes, I've definitely destroyed my fair share of mechs. But they always got repaired. Always.
Let's get into the makes and models, shall we? The primary configuration, or that is the clan invasion era primary default standard murder interfere with ease and then maybe go back to the drinking den version, is a whole lot of ass blasting weaponry on a mobile weapon system.
Well, I'm sorry. Is this a loadout, or is this just like put everything on here and just send it? No, this is everything that it can field all at once. Like, that's
LRM-20s
crazy.
because fuck you at range. 2 ER large lasers to engage targets at medium range, and yes, with clan tech, ER large lasers are for medium range. 2 ER medium lasers for lesser medium range, and a medium pulse laser for disco death mode, and 2 machine guns because infantry need to die as well.
I'm giggling like a schoolgirl right now. I just, how do you stuff that much weaponry into one loadout when you have like 20 or no? Yeah, you have about 20 tons to work with. I guess it's because it's clan technology and it's a little bit lighter, but
2
like,
ER
that
medium
is
lasers for lesser
insane how
medium
much
range, and a medium pulse laser for disco death mode, and 2 machine guns because infantry need to die as well. Alternative configuration alpha, configured specifically for long-range direct fire support. Think asshole sniper and you won't be far off. 2 ER PBCs for long-range shenanigans, 3 medium pulse lasers for short-range shenanigans, and if anyone gets too
Okay, I have questions. Sniper mode. PPC is like, yes, that is sniper mode, but also I could still brawl with this. Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, you have your Street SRM6, you have 3 medium pulse lasers and 2 PPCs. When I see that, I don't think sniper, I think like as a sniper build. I consider that more as like, I consider that more to be like brawler, but sure.
uncomfortably close, a Streak SRM6 to introduce them to the concentrated hate that is clanner missile tech.
Or
Alternative
Intersphere, in my
configuration
case,
beta
but
is a
still.
confused mess of weapons, offering a little bit for everybody and lacking any real focus. To me, it says, this is for training. See what you like.
I love that goose rifle just sitting in the right arm over there. Love that. SRM4s. Although, why would you have like 25 shots? Alarm 10. Yeah, this does kind of scream like a mix of everything.
Get a Gauss rifle, an LRM-10 launcher, a large pulse laser, a small pulse laser, an SRM-4, and it's all linked by an Artemis 4 fire control system, so the missiles group just a little better.
I still don't understand why you would put an Artemis system on an SRM4. It makes no sense. Oh, the grouping's gonna be a little tighter. I'm within 200 meters of my opponent. You're gonna be lucky if I'm not shoving the SRM4 down into the enemy's cockpit before I pull the trigger. Like, that is the range I use SRMs. So it's like, oh, the grouping's gonna be tighter. The target is right in front of me. I'm going to melt it with missiles. I don't need the grouping to be tighter. Again, tabletop is gonna be different, right? You're gonna want to make sure that you actually hit the target because my guess would be the Artemis gives you a better chance to hits, which on the rules you have to hit, I think it's like 7 to hit or like 7 to 10 in order to hit, and then a little bit higher for like a headshot or something. So Artemis system makes a little bit more sense. But if I can directly control where the SRM's going to hit, shove it into the cockpit and have an easy day, you know?
Just because they care. Alternative configuration Charlie. Well, the Charlie is almost like an alt take on the Prime. You get 2 ER large lasers and an Ultra AC-5 autocannon. You get 2 LRM-15s, and for closer in, you get an ER medium laser and an anti-missile system for any return fire fears.
Or, you know, crazy thought. Because you have clan technology, why don't you put it into the ground before it can return fire? Just saying. I mean, it's a great strategy that just can't go wrong, right? I realize I'm being silly and pedantic about the AMS system. I don't use them in my builds all that much, even though I probably should.
Alternative configuration Delta. This layout, well, sometimes called the Frankenstein, is a series of ideas joined by a theme called I'm here to kick ass and claim bondsmen, and I'm all
out of bondsmen. Yep. Yeah, this is a configuration I'm going with, because if I'm not within 200 meters of a target, I'm doing something wrong.
2 ER PPCs at the primaries, and the secondaries are 4 Streak SRM-6 launchers. 1 on each torso is rear-facing as an option because sneak up on me and get blasted, son. Then they added an ER small laser.
It's a rear-mounted. Oh my. That is terrifying, and I love it.
Or to shoot birds or something. You're not allowed to shit on clan tech, apparently, and clanners are sadistic bastards. Configuration Echo centers around the Advanced Tactical Missile System with 2 ARM-9 launchers,
planner technology,
a light tag designator, and 2 ER large lasers. In a sense, it's a fire support take on the Prime with an ability to call in Aero 4 support as needed. Seeing as the Inner Sphere was nearly out of Aero 4 munitions and launchers were relegated to museums as long-lost technology from a more civilized age, this mech was a horrifying surprise in that it ruined everything and brought the hammer down on things that it couldn't outright destroy. Configuration Foxtrot seems to be more mindful of infantry
ATM
in that
missiles.
It wants to kill them. It replaces the pulse laser with an ER medium laser, and with the savings throws those into anti-personnel Gauss rifles because nothing says fun for infantrymen like being exploded.
Anti-personnel goose cannons, that is the level of spite the goose absolutely loves. Honk honk, bitches.
Configuration Hotel is your Swiss Army knife build. 2 LRM-20s with Artemis 4 fire control for long-range precise volleys. For close range, you get 2 heavy large lasers which reliably delete a ton of armor with every trigger pull. There's also an ER small laser because, as I said, birds are not allowed to shit on clan tech. It's dishonorable.
There it is. There it is. I saw it in the comments earlier. I knew it was coming, but I just didn't know when it was going to. Yeah, because this is an anti-pigeon laser. This is something you tell your cat to follow around the floor, seeking new inner sphere bondsmen.
Here's where things get interesting. There are spin-offs on this design.
Oh, no.
The Inner Sphere had the gall to try to copy it and did so with a Rakshasa, which was almost as expensive, far less capable, and generally a disappointment.
Oof.
It's like a Mad Cat that was put together in the dark. Think of it as Diablo 3 to Diablo 2, with 2 being the OG Mad Cat.
Oh,
and
no.
It's not a sin that they made a worse mech. It's a sin that they tried. Same lesson stands for Diablo. You hear me, Blizzard? Anyways, in addition, there are 2 generations of Offspring for the Mad Cat, the Mark II and 3. Mark II is an assault mech because why not just give it more weapons and armor like a proper asshole? Now it's even more deadly.
I want one of these one day. I was close to buying one. I just couldn't justify it at the time.
It comes standard with 2 Gauss rifles and has other things that make you want to cry.
It comes standard with 2 Goose rifles. Next time I have a chance, I'm buying one of those immediately.
It's full-bore ridiculous and wonderful to pilot. If the Mad Cat was a wrestler, the Mad Cat too would be Macho Man Randy Savage. Because expect the unexpected in the kingdom of madness. Oh yeah. The Mark III is a step in the opposite and some would argue wrong direction. It's a medium mech with definitive design cues taken from the original Mad Cat.
Well, why?
Insofar as medium mechs
why would
go,
you make it
it's
a medium
terrifying.
mech?
It has 2 LRM-20s because compromise is for losers.
Okay, fair enough.
If this mech didn't have notable mighty warriors, it would be a failure. It does not disappoint, with quite a few examples for the purposes of this discussion. The first notable is Pride, spelled P-R-Y-D-E, after the blood name.
Okay.
I'm referring, of course, to
that's the way
Star
to spell
Colonel
the name.
Eden Pride, who piloted one with the Falcon Guards on Tukiyid in 3052.
Oh, he's a
From
weeb.
Fresno Plain to
shit.
Robbins Crossing, Eden's Timberwolf made hell for the Comm Guards. He fought until overrun by the Comm Guard 4th Army, taking down a company of war machines with minimal support. His build is remembered for having a quartet of jump jets, adding respectably to its already decent mobility. In addition, the Bounty Hunter drove one at various points throughout his, look, I can do a whole episode on this character just to find.
We need to learn more about the Bounty Hunter because I've ran into this figure before in Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries, I think, or one of the variations of the Bounty Hunter. I just don't know enough about this person to say anything. It's like no one really knows.
To say he's the setting's Dread Pirate Roberts. The Bounty Hunter had 2 identified builds. The first with large pulse lasers and medium pulse lasers backed by an active probe, full ECM suite, and a targeting computer. The second was Jihad era and was a Franken build with large pulse lasers, medium lasers, SRM-4s, streak SRM-4s, anti-personnel Gauss rifles, ER small lasers, targeting.
Okay, so this is just a full-up brawler. That
computers, coolant pods, and jump jets, plus ammo. Because why not? There's also the many infamous builds for Solaris jocks, but, well, they tend not to last that long. And any secrets they may hold are at the bottom of a smoking crater.
You're not wrong
and
on
now,
that one, as much as I want to
offer
be upset at you about that.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh,
Having
no.
built a solid foundation as an outspoken asshole and battle mech expert with strongly worded opinions, I would like to say the following is an unpopular opinion.
He's about to say that the Mad Cat is not a good mech.
Some consider the Mad Cat or Timberwolf a game changer. That it is the stompiest of the stompies, the most DACA of the DACA, the best balanced weapon system there ever was in the setting. But let me state an unpopular opinion, at least a lore-friendly one. What if I say it isn't? What if I say it's a prime example as to why the clanners lost? Right now, somebody is mashing that downvote button, but hear me out.
I could see it.
Let's open the history books of the 20th century.
Let him cook.
There's an army that designs and builds exceptionally lethal weapon systems, an army that arguably has the best fighters, warriors, and training the world has ever seen. At least to that point. This army had mighty warriors who could fight 10 times their number and win. One managed to knock out 168 tanks in a matter of years. When this nation attacked, it easily stormed over the enemy, defeating them soundly in battle after battle thanks to better organizational doctrine, training, and preparedness. Their tools, too, maintained an edge over their opponents, creating fantastic armored vehicles that decimated the enemy.
I think it was the Jaeger.
For a time.
I think that was the Jaeger.
But as the war ground on, resources became strained.
Jaguar, excuse me.
As the war ground on, manpower was no longer available. And as it turns out, being able to make the finest vehicles for war doesn't mean much if you can't make all that many of them. Or if you can't replace those warriors lost with equally talented ones and in similar numbers. Also, as it turns out, attacking a bunch of people means that ultimately sometimes they will set aside their differences and stop you, and in the process unleash their full industrial power for one purpose, making you die.
Yes.
Consider the following. There were 1,347 Tiger I tanks made, ever,
Oh, they were
Meanwhile, there are
tigers. Never mind.
49,234 Shermans. There were
Why was I thinking that? I don't know.
35,488 base model
I
T-34s made
don't
during the
know.
war, and another 23,213 T-34-85s.
Different
While the early
tank under
T-34
that
could run
name.
maybe 200 clicks before the engines wore out, it was enough to get the job done. History isn't always about quality. It's about quantity. War is not often kind to the side that makes fewer weapons. War does not often reward nations with the audacity to fight a superior industrial base for a prolonged period of time. As well, history's lesson for us seems to be that building all your weapons in relatively few places and relatively few numbers for relatively few carefully chosen people is a bad fucking idea. This is complicated by having an enormously long supply chain, a rigid system of belief that prevents you from utilizing your full might without serious loss of honor.
Honestly, yes, I believe all of this is correct. Because without the supply line to make sure that your weapon systems are outfitted, you immediately saw them go from some of their really good mechs to some of the, like, breaking out some of the IIC versions, or to
This is then
2C
complicated by
versions of mechs
maintaining a
real
large
quick.
force of high-tech equipment that may not react well to the rigors of prolonged conflict far from home, and to note that any supplies, replacement parts, or pilots must be sent from far, far away. All of
And
this is
jump
then
ships
made
still take
worse
time to get from
when a
place to
war does
place.
drag on, because whatever you might think, war has a tendency to change. War has a tendency to surprise both sides. War has a tendency to resolve nothing but who has the larger industrial base, and who is willing to grind people to dirt for the satisfaction of victory. The Mad Cat may be the finest weapon of war yet devised in this setting. It may be near perfect as battle mechs go. But, thankfully, it was too little for too few to make a big enough impact. Intersphere historians shudder at what might have happened had the clans had enough time to prepare better. But they didn't, because the invasion wasn't planned by especially smart people, just tough ones seeking glory. The Mad Cat, like many other clans,
You see, I don't even think it's a matter of time, because they had 104 years to make sure that the Timberwolf, for example, was ready to go. I'm pretty sure they had more like 300 years during the Exodus. So you're telling me, again, that you have a handful of warriors, a handful of decent mechs, and you just suddenly didn't have the supplier line or the people or the mechs or really the parts to maintain them in order to take on the inner sphere. What was the game plan here? This is just
Clan Mix was designed principally for clan warfare, where both sides agreed to the rules and regulations. Both sides follow a strict code of honor. Both sides have a limited number of forces to accomplish a strategic objective, and then afterward it is resolved swiftly and without much lingering concern as to supply situations. The Mad Cat, like many other pieces of clan equipment, were designed for limited-scale warfare, between people having galactic slap fights for honor or whatever else. It wasn't until they fought the sphere that they realized they may have made some goddamn mistakes. But that's a story for another time.
We're definitely going to have to look over
To
that
sum
story.
things up, the Mad Cat is an awesome weapon of war with few notable exceptions. Those exceptions being if you have to pay for it, repair it,
Yep.
buy spare parts, support logistics, and or fight a prolonged conflict within your inventory while spare parts and pilots are many hundred light years away at best. Also, I want to say this, and this may strike some people wrong. I am an asshole. This is an opinion. You can disagree with me.
No,
but
I
I'm
think
still
you're
an asshole.
100% correct on this one.
I want to thank Sarna.net for being the best fucking wiki in the universe, and an awesome source of information, inspiration, and deep lore knowledge. I want to thank my editor who puts up with my nonsense, foregoing any social interaction for long periods of time to make sure the urban mech memes flow like water. I want to thank my fan base, who fund this nonsense month after month because they like throwing money at an idiot like me. thank you for tuning in. Next time, the catapult.
Hell yes.
Mysterious invaders known as the Clan.
Oh no.
Go Breeze! Hey, Pops! Don't call me Pops.
Hey, you like Battle Mechs? Hi, I'm Discount Dan, and I want to
I
tell you about my
do, I
business.
do.
Discount Dan's Mech Superstore, warehouse, spare parts, and term life insurance emporium. Let me ask you something, friendo. Are you at all interested in buying your way to glory? Do you want to be feared? Do you want to be respected? You looking for a killing tool because you broke the last
absolutely.
one? Then come on down to Discount Dan's surplus mech warehouse between the Triple F Burger and Steiner Arena South Entrance, Solaris 7. I got light mechs, I got heavy mechs, I got assault mechs. I have like literally 3 dozen hunchbacks. Nobody.
Hold on.
7.
What the
I got
hell was
light mechs,
that?
I got heavy mechs.
What the fuck is this abomination? That is an AT-AT walker if it got... It's an AT-AT if you fucking Shermaned it. Like, what? Yes, you are correct. It's an assault mech and it's discounted, but that just... Oh god, that hurts my head. Oh god, that hurts. I'm not even sure what these other two are. I need to go digging into the rule book for Battletech, because I'm pretty sure they have these two in there. I'm not even sure about this thing. This thing is an abomination, and it should be lit on fire. Because I just thought, why? Oh, cool, it has a turret. It can spin all around. Yeah, the Irby has that too, and it at least isn't a 100-ton abomination.
I got assault mechs. I have like literally 3 dozen hunchbacks. Nobody buys those. Nobody.
Excuse you, everybody buys hunchbacks. Like, I will buy at least 2. I will buy an entire lance of them right now.
Nobody buys a hunchback, but you might. Maybe you will. I bet you will. Please buy a hunchback. Look, I got catapults for days. We got new catapults, used catapults, catapult parts, catapult chairs. Listen, we got the biggest aftermarket catapult parts emporium as a recognized, licensed, bonded, and noted catapult aftermarket accessory installation outlet. You got money? Come on down. I'll help you burn it. I will burn that money right out of your fucking hands because I am Discount Dan, and that's what I do because I care.
Don't sue Tex. Tex has no money. This is work of an opinion from Tex. You have been warned. I mean, that is fair. That is very fair. I love going through these episodes. They're just so beautiful. It is always good to see you when Tex uploads something like this. And again, I still need to go watch some of the cartoons as well, so... I promise I will get to them at some point. I just haven't done it yet. I need to. I very much need to. It's kind of like with the books as well. I haven't found the time to sit down and like actually have that time to go through them. But there's so much lore that's packed into Battletech and Mechwarrior that's just... It's insane. Coffee bears. I mean, somebody's got to make the coffee. I think that was it for, like, the credit. Oh. People who can claim no rewards and yet just toss money at me. Okay, I'm out. Yeah, so that was the Mad Cat. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that the Mad Cat is so versatile. Although I never really used the Mad Cat other than just like I think I used it for a build or two and then just never really used it in its full potential. Again, that's kind of why I wanted to do, like, stock builds and whatnot, but, like... I don't know. I don't know. At some point, I will just do purely stock builds, but that's gonna be probably way later in the future. But like always, the link to the original video will be in the description or in the card up in the corner. And as always, this has been Call Sign Annika, signing out.